Good evening. Good night. This is Lost Wages, Second Chances, Season 2, Episode 1, entitled, And Still You Find the Beat. First and foremost, before diving fully into what we have in front of us, thank you all for being here. Play and investment of time, effort, and energies is beyond value. It is a phenomenal thing that we are able to wrap our minds, our emotions, and thoughts around these characters' existence. So, immortally, without fail, without any exaggeration, thank you all from the bottom of my heart to the top of my mind and all places in between. It very much means a lot to me. Thank you. And for those not quite aware, this is officially, without any shadow of a doubt, Lost Wages, Second Chances, Season 2, Episode 1, entitled, And Still You Find the Beat. As we've just discussed, as we've just bandied about, when we last left this coterie, this group of kindred, this conflagration of undead monsters who are trying to eke out an immortality in the heart of Sin City, they'd arrived in the capital of the Hikata Nation here in Las Vegas to a suite that belonged to some rich, moneyed someone. Karina, the quote-unquote beauty queen, mafia queen. Her associate, Don Allen Wells Newman, his lover, Asha. A suite of rooms that would quantify as a actual home. Large, spacious, and sumptuous. A view of the strip in the offing. The night sky promising, as it always promises, that there will be a tomorrow. The sun will rise again. Yet in the moment, that feeling of there being a tomorrow is 100% and some change a lie. Because you all are in a place where in any other medium, in any other moment, any other book, novel, movie, telenovela, this would be the last thing you all see. Men with guns and dark suits would step out from rooms just outside of sight and escort you down past the cameras, out of sight of everyone, and bury you in the desert, or what remained of you in the desert, along with a few slugs. Unfortunately for you all, this is not that sort of movie. It's not that sort of moment. Max Castiglione, in the right circles, all the wrong circles, a nationally known threat. One of the few female mafia bosses. And there's a connotation behind that, 100%. Women don't hold positions of power in the mafia. Gangs, cartels, all of the other aspects. But mafia has a connotation of old European males sitting in smoking rooms deciding the fate of families and for generations. She is in fact very much one of the few female mafia bosses. It has a connotation of being upper echelon from the gangs, the cartels, and various other organized criminal entities. And she very much fits that bill. The fact that she arrives with men and women clearly armed into this relatively peaceful moment ratchets the tension from 10 to a power of 10 10 times over. Corinna already a socially threatening entity. David already a socially threatening entity. A former world champion boxer, threatening you with several definitions and usages of the word motherfucker. Politely, of course. The fact that Corinne, the sometimes day manager, oftentimes night manager for Fancy's Academy, is being held by Corinna, only adding to there are consequences for your actions and decisions. The offer was put to you all. Gather what the immortal stole. Bring it here for verification and be rewarded handsomely. And Corinne would go free as if nothing ever happened to her, as if she was not taken from wherever she was taken from, as if she was not held against her will in sumptuous surroundings, but still held all the same. And that's where we pick up. There's a music, a sound to every room. There is a ongoing orchestral arrangement to life itself. The sound of the car speeding by, the sound of the electric buzz of lights as they turn on and turn off, the sound of TVs and cell phones and headphones, and just the noise of life, and it creates its own tune, its own time. The question, as is always the case, what will you all do as Max and her small force of armed and clearly dangerous individuals enters into the space unannounced? What will you do with the offer Corinna made to you all? Or just simply, as you all are gathered, what will you all do?
Okay. Well, it seems it is a bit of a surprise for the both of us, he says as he looks over to the newly entered Max and eyes her bodyguards. Do we have to worry about this situation going from something a bit less diplomatic?
And that's what you say to your group, or are you saying this more without any discretion for privacy?
This is more like out to the room, just as I'm trying to get a grasp on what the fuck is happening here while my group is gathering themselves.
These motherfuckers just don't quit. What the fuck? Said
That's kind of on the line of dialogue I'm in as well.
There is an understanding that if you are not in the driver's seat, that you will be taken for a ride. Survival has its price of admission, and oftentimes you would try to skip out on the bill. Doesn't appear that this is a situation where that is an actual possibility.
This is one of those, there are dues to be paid and you will pay them.
Yep. Most assuredly.
He kind of gives aside, like a glance over to Fancy to, with a questioning raise of his brow to get her, at the very least, subtle indication of her stance on this offer, this demand that was made. Because as it stands, like, Ryan doesn't have on his person or in his possession, really, any of the objects. Ryan may or may not just be sitting here and trying to work as a negotiator for everybody else at this point.
Was it Max who made the offer, or was it somebody else? Sorry.
Corinna.
Okay. And Max just busted in.
Very much so.
Fancy will notice Max because they probably have history. Not bad history, but just history. Considering who Fancy was married to at one point. She looks and kind of raises her eyebrow. And then back at Corinne. And we'll see. The thing is, other people want it as well, so we'd probably have to be fighting off a fair amount of people to get all of them back. And how do we know that we've gotten all of them back? How many were there in the first place? These are all things that need to be discussed and figured out.
And in addition, we've to discuss about if there are any documents on our little gathering here. What's to be done with them?
I'm sorry. Forgive me. It seems as we have another player in the game. Max, I didn't expect you. Well, that's the reason why I showed up. If I'm where I'm expected, that makes me an easy target. Look, I'm not sure what power play you're making here, Corinna, but I want in. And me telling you that I want in is literally me telling you that I am, in fact, in. What offer have you made to these lovely individuals who shouldn't be within 10 feet of you?
It's not so much an offer as it is an ultimatum.
The only difference between the two is what you do with it. Chaos is in fact a ladder, dear boy, dear boy, dear boy. So, Corinna, what is the offer? Let's see if I can match that. Miss
You kind of...
Leon, the offer is quite simple. There was a robbery, there are items, they need to find them, and if possible for a bonus, the person or persons that initiated the robbery. And if you would like a small taste, I am more than willing to share. Oh, you know I'm not greedy. I just want to wet my beak. So you keep the items. You allow me to look at whatever these mysterious items are that have had you and your other backers raising hell all over Las Vegas. And these are your contractors. That being the case, what are you paying them? It would be unfair for me not to offset that price. Well, we have the leader of the crew responsible's mother for safekeeping. A bit strong, but understandable. That being the case.
Belongs to me.
Oh, she belongs to you. Well, fancy.
She works for me, so that means she belongs to me.
Well, fancy. You do understand what that says about us. I'm joking. It's unfortunately associating with who I associate with. It gets a little far too easy to engage in off-color humor. So let's say that I did make the comment about you, of all people, owning someone, and get down to brass tacks. So are you guys in or are you out? Will we be celebrating a murder, which helps me, no matter who it is that is no longer in the favor of the living, or are we going to plan a celebratory meal afterwards, a nice little feeding?
Kind of begins to speak while looking at his group, waiting for any of them to cut him off if they disagree. But he just goes, "I'm always in the mood to help one of the Castiglions. A favor for you is a favor that eventually will get returned from me, after all. And I am nothing if not a man that likes to climb the ladder of chaos, as you put it."
This is a good thing. Excellent. So I can count on you attempting to make sure that we receive all of the information, me, Corinna, and David. David. We need to talk after this. Naughty. You shouldn't be beating up the floor, the pit bosses. But we'll talk about that later. For now, there was a notice that certain individuals were on the premises, and I had to stop by and make sure that everyone was getting along fabulously. So, are we all of accord? Everyone's moving in the right direction? Will we be killing anyone today? I need
Only
to
if
call
it's
ahead
benefit.
for disposal.
Well, as far as I'm aware, we're all of an accord. And if there are bodies to be had, it shall not be of those within this room. Aye?
I should hope, but that, of course, comes down to what is it that you all are willing to... And the lovely man outside, out front, is he with anyone? He looks tasty.
He's with that one. And he'll point to Morgan.
Do you share...
Morgan will smile up. Not that one. He's mine.
Well,
Oh,
we'll have talks about that later, I'm sure.
I think that, unless there's anything less to be said, we have established ourselves a bit of a contract then.
I believe so. Corinna, did you give them a time? Timing is that's what's actually important. There is a gathering of fellows and able-bodied members that are worthy of time, effort, and energies to be had here. 2 days, there's a lovely game, and it'll be handled here. We can get you all passes for a show or two, and you'll have everything we need, right, Corinna? Yes, Miss Castiglione. Excellent. So I'll leave you all in Corinna's hand. No one's dying right now, and so see you guys around. 2 days? Yeah, 2 nights. All right, excellent. Do a circuit anyway, just to make sure there's no bodies we need to take care of, gentlemen. And with that, 2 of her security team break off and begin to nose through the space, checking doors, closets, cabinets, looking over the banister, making sure that no one's taking a tumble. No, ma'am, no one's. Excellent. You all continue with your meeting, pretend that we weren't even here, and we look forward to getting my piece 2 nights, all of the information, everything that was gathered, everything that was taken by the Immortal, and we'll go from there. Good night, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. I will see you in 2 nights. Corinna, I'll leave you to it.
Always
David,
a
we need to
pleasure,
talk.
Matt.
Always a pleasure. Of course, it'd be more pleasure if you would, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, enjoy your evening. Do your best. Be good, and if you can't be good, be great. See you later.
As the doors, I suppose, just close behind them, I'll just look over to the original deal maker, but does she often do that?
As of late, far too often. Seems as if things are changing. I expected one of them. I did not expect her. It should have been Dante or his bastard child, Luca.
So I assume that means the whole structure has a rather vested interest and understanding with the contract that you've presented before us tonight, then.
Yes, we are working together of sorts to make good on several things that have been made bad.
Let's see. Well, since we've got such an interesting timeline for ourselves, I suppose it's only prudent that I ask if there is any kind of leads that you yourself might have. You seem to be a rather resourceful individual, and I would hate to find myself, well, out of sorts when the sun rises on day 2.
There were more threats that I had planned to make. She did, in fact, run my presentation. However, if you all are timely, we won't have to apply any further pressure. In fact, I'll reach out to my sources in the sheriff's department to buy you all a few days of grace.
And as I'd said before, the presentation was interrupted. Is there to be some leniency on the information that's related to us?
There's information related to you all in the...
There's quite a few names.
And you believe that you've all been of significant value, that your personal information is there?
Put a bright smile on. You never know. Though I believe that if it is there, it's only right that it be our property, since it is our information after all.
Having heard Luca's name, kind of fancy, goes quiet and crosses her arms over her stomach and kind of shuts down a bit.
Although, of course, I guess a conversation and an agreement doesn't need to be had for something that may or may not be there, he says as he takes his own creative understanding of the situation. Well then, thank you for the day's worth of grace that you're going to allow us. I believe that with the wick burning, it's best that we get to step in, eh? If that's alright with everybody here.
We still don't know the scope of how many things were taken so that we know when we have them all. That's a very important bit of information.
Look from Fancy back to Karina. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Do you have a grasp on the full package? Or are we just on a get as much as we get and hope it satisfies type mission?
We do have an approximation as to what the totality of the information is. And we'll use that to verify that you are upholding your end of the deal, the end of the bargain.
Not for nothing, but I do have a question.
And what is that question?
Right now, as of right now, do we know if, and if not, how much of said package is still intact? Because if it was bantied around, there's a potentiality that some of the items may have been destroyed. We know if, or as we actually begin our investigation, if any of the information is destroyed, would that be suitable or would that be lobbied against us?
What are you guys, fucking lawyers? Look, we know how much is supposed to be there. We're going to use that to audit check what you have. If you understand, or you're being forthright and you're being honest and you present all the information that you have, that you know where this piece is or where that piece is or what happened to that piece, then all's fair in business. If you all don't, or if there's the smell of a lie and things don't add up, well, you can understand why we might be a little upset.
No, seems fair enough to me.
Eugene adjusted his tie. Oh, I totally understand that. It was just that, under certain demands, threats, and the like, if items were destroyed, we don't want to come to you empty-handed and say, well, it's supposed to be 7 boxes, but we only have 6 because he destroyed one, and then we know walking in, that's an issue for us, i.e., we did our best, but he destroyed a box, and then you say, well, it's supposed to be 7 boxes, so off to the sun you go. Just trying to make sure that I understand the parameters of this actual arrangement.
I think that at the very least, we can all here mutually assume that none of us are caricatures or blatantly insane depictions of fictional villains. I'm not going to find myself getting strangled by the Force. I think that as long as we are, as she said, very forthright and proper with our going about this, as well as timely, there shouldn't be any issues, right?
There shouldn't be. Stranger things have happened. She really did take the steam out of the threats that I had planned. You all know that from this height, you will reach terminal velocity early enough that you all get a chance to watch and understand what's happening as you meet the concrete below. It's a horrible way because your mind is able to pick up all of the details and watch it happen in slow motion over and over and over again. It's a great threat. It really is. It's proven to be really one of the more effective threats because it gives the opportunity or the idea that you all could hide from fair trade by staying at ground level, which I'm not sure if you all realize this or not, but we have friends on the police force. So hiding on ground level is kind of where we want you to be, yet you're worried about being led up here and out to the balcony, which was also part of the threat. We were all going to gather out there on the balcony so that you all get a chance to feel how the wind buffets you at this height. She just took the fun out of it. Maybe.
People on the police force, no, you don't say.
Yeah, it's a lot of. It requires a lot of funding. You wouldn't believe how expensive police are. But all things being what they are, we should have the opportunity of maybe. If you guys are a little late, we'll do a little check-in, let's say tomorrow night, and then maybe I'll have another presentation, another way to threaten you all that really kind of recoups the loss from this, because this is kind of lost. Like this now, we might as well be talking about your favorite recipes. It doesn't have quite the same impact of the threat that I had planned. Like, you know that the lights, they're sonically tuned. Like if you scream at just the right pitch, they'll darken. It was a whole thing. I'm sorry that it's not as effective as I was hoping. Like it's not the show that it was supposed to be.
I think I've gotten as much of this as, to be honest.
That pitch thing does sound pretty interesting.
It is so cool. David, you remember the guy that pissed himself? Oh yeah, that motherfucker. He like right where your boys outside is standing. He emptied his bladder. It was pretty impressive. Like in 1 second, he's perfectly fucking dry, and then when the lights change and Karina yells at him in that almost super high pitched thing she does, his whole pants leg just suddenly, instantaneously, was 2 shades darker with his own urine. It was fucking great. It was fucking cool.
Wonderful.
Sounds like I'd love to see the video of that if you still have it.
You want to watch a man piss himself?
Explosively. This motherfucker literally just, his whole bladder just all over. If he wasn't wearing fucking pants, that motherfucker would have, well, I'm sure his piss would have splattered all over the walls. Like, it was...
Wait, kind of like when you punch someone?
No, because when you punch someone, the first few drops will give you indication that you're successful. Like, I hit this guy, 4th round. We are in one of the few fights I had in New York. This motherfucker talked so much shit about how somebody from, the podunk town I'm from outside of Vegas was nowhere. There's no champions that ever come from Las Vegas. Champions move to Las Vegas, not come. Anyway, he was talking a lot of shit. This motherfucker ran his mouth, and I caught him with a rabbit shot that the referee didn't see, because I followed it up with a dirty elbow, so he's looking at the elbow, not realizing that I caught him right there in the kidney. And then, anyway, so what happens is, if you give a person a kidney shot, those first few dribbles, those first few drops is the only warning they get. Most people are smart enough to try to clench up and use the kegels, but sometimes it's such a huge flow that those first few drops let you know that you were successful, and then it empties out.
Nice. I'd love to see that in action someday.
It's not exactly as... Alright, so I think we've gotten as much as we're going to get out. We know what you want. We know about what you're going to do if it doesn't happen. We got a deadline. All squared away.
I think so. I think we're good.
Alright, wonderful. See, originally I wasn't exactly too keen on this, but now that I know you're actually properly connected to the Castiglions, this is a fucking field trip for me. Everybody else, any other questions? Do you want to get another creative threat? I think they're fine and fun. Actually, I might use a few of those. But everything else good? We good to leave?
Yeah, you motherfuckers ain't that bad. Go ahead, get your ass out of here.
Alright. I'll remember the bit about the kegels, he says as he walks towards the door. He just kind of leans over to Eugene. What the fuck is a kegel?
We'll talk about that later.
Morgan will pop up. Oh, it's a pelvic exercise. Gotta keep those muscles strong.
Fancy, you coming with?
Fancy just spends a minute just really looking at these two people brought her situation by force, and then sighs, turns around and walks out.
Morgan, do you remember to collect your puppy, eh?
I'm pretty sure it'll just follow along, but alright.
And what were you about to say? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Huh?
I heard you make some noise, and like I spoke at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know, more. It just kind of clears out.
Alright.
Oh, I guess there is no backing out of this, huh?
Well, not really, not if they are connected to... Oh shit, no, I need to make a call. You know, I could do this via text, actually. This is a lot easier via text. He pulls out his phone and, after leaving the room, when they're because not gonna risk that bullshit. After he leaves the room, he'll pull out his phone and send a text over to Aubrey, just, cancel last delivery, the distance is too far. Just kind of calling off the, hey, you know, try and get heat onto this Karina fellow.
Timing. Timing of things is penultimately important. A few seconds one way or the other changes the outcome significantly. It's an interesting thought to have as you look at those 3 little dots on your screen as the messages attempting to be sent as you all step into the elevator.
So then, he looks over to... I assume Morgan's attachment has returned as we go to the elevator, right?
Of course.
Right. Did you enjoy your field trip? He says while watching his phone and waiting for the response.
Morgan will look up at her eye and they don't know what kegels are. Can you believe that?
I can't believe you hanging out with mobsters.
Hey, that's derogatory.
No, it's not. You know who just came out of there when you guys went in there?
Yeah.
I don't mind overstating things, actually.
No, you don't.
It's alright, babe. We know who they were.
I forgot. You guys are dead.
Yeah.
None of that bothers you. None of that matters to you.
I mean, it does to a certain degree. You'll be very interested to find out how many of your power structures are actually our thing.
Great. You're gonna say that you guys killed Kennedy.
Probably.
Almost certainly.
More than likely.
Or maybe Kennedy was one of us all along.
How? He was seen during the daytime.
Maybe he is. You know, have you explained to him what a ghoul is?
We haven't quite got there yet.
Great. There's more. There's more that you guys are keep.
There's always more. There's no bottom to the bowl, he says as he's still watching the screen. There's no real bottom to the bowl. It's just kind of a spiral that goes down and down and down.
And that's supposed to make it better?
Not really, but at least you've got a better grasp on what you're dealing with.
Morgan will pat him gently on the arm. It's more than a night-long conversation.
Not for nothing, but since you brought him this far into the pool, are you planning on making him a long-term resident or just a visitor?
By whose definition?
I mean,
well, you know.
I mean, like, I don't have permission and stuff.
Ah, alright, so for now at the very least he's a temporary attachment until you can get a more permanent agreement going. Yes, no, maybe?
We'll see.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep looking at him like he just vaguely gestures towards him. Until otherwise confirmed.
Morgan will make an absolutely disgusted noise.
Oh, no shame. Everybody's got their thing.
So, do we have any leads on where we are to go next? Because I really didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah, no, as far as I'm aware, Aubrey does have a lead on at least one of these things.
Okay, we're gonna kind of have to explore that because 48 hours is really not good.
See, considering it 48 hours is where you're fucking up, we've got more like 18 hours.
Yeah. Minus 12 for, well, minus 24. Oh, yeah, we're cutting it really close. We need some information like yesterday.
Nobu. The fog is... Who was the gentleman that Aubrey had gotten attached to in order to send me that information over?
She didn't tell you.
Damn, okay. Perfect timing. I'll add on to my text. Hey, by the way, who's got that lunchbox I sent you after?
You know, normally, you would have had a snarky response back by now. You haven't gotten that.
Oh, shit. Alright, well, it seems that my agent has been otherwise occupied. That might be something we want to look into.
Didn't you say she was going to go see Baxter?
Yeah.
I'll make another disgusted noise and shoot off a message to Baxter. Hey, are you at the shop?
Immediately. Not now. Hotline.
He is busy.
Well, it doesn't matter if he's busy or not. Let's head on over.
I guess to the shop then.
Wait, is this the shop that got set on fire?
Was he actually at the shop? He didn't say that.
He didn't say, but, you know. She can look at records and stuff.
Do you know where he lives?
Yes.
Alright, well, if he's not at the shop, let's go,
I also know where his ex-wife lives.
Oh! That sounds fun! You've got to tell me that.
No.
Why not?
Give me a second, please.
Looks over. 1.
I'm thinking.
Don't try too hard, I wouldn't want you to hurt yourself.
I might know a guy. Let me go. Let me get my phone. Let me go downstairs and get my phone. I might know a guy.
Alright. Well, you have fun with that. Then we just, I guess, gather up on the parking lot and figure out where we're going from there. I love the communication we're having here.
Sounds like it.
You're forgetting that the easiest thing would be to go to the source. The person who stole the items would know mostly where they sent them to or dispersed them. So if we can get our hands on the immortal in the first place, we would be able to get him to tell us.
Yeah,
Well, with some effort, where things were.
wasn't our source for finding where the immortal was your friend that's currently in their hands? As Eugene fucking rages in the corner. Eugene, I don't know what that roll was for, but please God.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be pissed off.
Oh no, you're pissed off. You're without a shadow of a doubt, your darker or your normal Tuesday self is peeking through the edges. As he's texting away, you all can hear the plastic of his keys just You've never seen a cell phone be handled that callously and still be operational.
The Nokia.
Right. Morgan's gonna look over it.
Those things survive re-entry.
At the Kindred Ryan. Like, and they say we're the angry ones.
Wait, we? I'm perfectly calm.
Well,
We in general. You know, the family we.
The family we?
With Brua.
what do Mexican witches have to do with you vampire shit?
I love that so much. He's so cute. Do you think I could borrow him? Got a few
No.
dresses I'd love to put him in.
No.
The fuck wrong with you?
Nothing yet.
So it's true. All of you guys are like Lestat, ambisexual, trisexual, bisexual.
Well, no, I just like the idea of dressing you up in a little pink number. I think it'd be really funny. I might hang it on the shop to advertise the material.
I don't care if you already did. I will fucking break your jaw.
And they say that we're the angry ones.
It's in the blood.
Eugene silently screams in his own head,
It's
taking
not,
a long,
oh no, it's not
deep
silent.
breath.
It's not silent. You pop that Pringles can, you're gonna have to feed deeply from it. There is, even in the everyday, every night, wider realm of Las Vegas, there's a certain honor in, pulling one over here and there, taking a little so you don't take a lot, always getting something back. But there's an honor involved in keeping your word. There's an honor involved in being part of the community that you have access to. And the fact, the unmitigated fact that Nikki, one of the defiant outsiders who are often at odds with the immortal, who should be able to give you an inside line, told you 5 large up front for a network that is built on favors. It's, in essence, having a black card and still needing to put down a deposit. It takes a lot to get the black card, and the fact that someone demanded a deposit on top of using your card is infuriating. It goes against the very idea as to what the network is supposed to be. It's one of the few times as a model your face card is declined.
Hey Yuji, are you alright, sweetie? Is there anything that we could do for you? You look like you're having a little bit of a breakdown.
When's the last time you ate? Maybe a little hungry.
Really bad week.
Okay. Do
No.
you need a screaming pillow or something?
I need to rip someone's head off.
Oh, rage
Okay.
room. Got it.
We are in a confined space. I would like for you to hold that impulse in, woosa, hold that in until we're out of this confined space. But, just in case I can help with it, what's wrong?
I tried to hit a contact who actively dislikes the immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit a contact and asked for some information, and she asked for 5 large up front.
Do you not
And you don't have that? And she will
Not
gesture
the
at how she's
point.
dressed.
It's not that I don't have it, it's not the point. The whole point of the network is that we do for favors. As many favors as I did for her, she's asking for 5 large up front.
Well, did you tell her you wanted to cash in a favor? Give her a little token or something?
5 large up front.
I mean,
It was just a way of disrespect. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, maybe you're not the only person. Maybe she's just capitalizing on a particularly interesting night with a bunch of people going after him. Maybe it's not a you thing, but a situation thing, eh?
I'm gonna use her intestines for jump rope.
Alright, but like after she tells us what we need to know. I mean, I'm more than happy to skedaddle over there and give her the old Hannibal Lecter treatment. But we do need to get the information first.
Oh. Let me get the 5 large.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna pay for this.
Well, technically you're paying, but you know what? I don't need to be said. So,
Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a rabbit. It's fine. It's fine.
Fancy, do you have a method other than Yuji's method of acquiring the Immortal's location?
Well, seeing as how his stepmother worked for me, we have talked to each other multiple times. He kind of considers me somewhat loosely a friend. If I call him, we'll see how that goes, because obviously I'd hope that he wouldn't know why I was calling him.
No, right? I mean, you can give it a shot. I at the very least.
I also know where his sister lives.
Oh, that. I mean, if he's a young man on the run after a job, it's kind of stereotypical for them to go hide at family, isn't it?
No one knows their family. They have different last names.
What was that voice from the dark? Oh well, I mean, you could check at the sister's place. I don't know. I would like to get a hold of Aubrey, and the last place she was said to be going is this Baxter fellows. So I would like to check on that with a bit of haste. But I suppose there is a bit more of a priority on getting a hold of the Immortal.
So questions.
Yes.
What is it that you all are deciding? You all have several threads that you can pull on. And as you've all shown in your actions of the previous night, separate is not equal in terms of achieving any measure of success.
Yes. As much as I would like to go and hunt down Aubrey, the mission's the mission, and hopefully this Baxter fellow, at least from Ryan's perspective, hopefully this Baxter fellow can be a bit more talkative by the time that we're done over there. Unless, unless Morgan and Martha feel like doing something other than that. I mean, I'm happy to follow along with Eugene while Fancy gives a call to the Immortal. Like, the three of us, or all five of us, depending on whether or not you guys want to go pursue an alternate goal, can go collect this information, or if Fancy gets the information faster, go to the location. That's my thoughts at the very least.
Sounds good.
I concur.
Pursue Eugene's lead unless Fancy's gets to us quicker.
There are worse plans.
And Fancy, the objective was make the call and see what comes of it, or was the objective go pop over to the sister's house and see what's up?
Probably better to go and then call to let her know that we're on our way, just in case,
Okay.
while sitting out front, because you never know what happens when you
Alright.
tell somebody we're on our way.
Alright. And Eugene, do you have to give the money to them in person, or is this like a wired scenario and then they send you over the information?
It's definitely in person.
Fun. Alright, well then, Eugene, let's get your money and get the information, eh?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna table dealing with Nikki a little bit later, but let's go ahead and get the money and get it over there, and hopefully get some useful information.
Well, the problem with Nikki, just so that Eugene can wrap his head around what it is. Nikki is the brains behind the operation of the Murder Brothers, Eddie, Vance, and they are absolutely 100% completely the antithesis of murder. They are white-collar intellectual criminals who dress up in the regalia of the crustiest, dustiest. In other words, they front. They put up a false front. Looking at them based on dress and demeanor, you'd assume that their name of the Murder Bros is valid and accurate. They have the full picked out naturals. They constantly, brandish machetes and talk tough, always using a patois that is as real as a $3 bill, but their image makes them money. Because while you're expecting them to kick open the door of some place and kill everyone inside, they're going in through some back doors, computer, laptop, ring camera to case the joint and find a way in without ever drawing attention to what they've done. In other words, they are solely about the image and the money. And the only time that they would ever bother to actually follow through on that image, that tough guy bullshit, is if the demand exceeds the supply. They are price gouging because it's a hot commodity.
Oh, so I was right. I know the information game more than I thought.
There must be a lot of people for the Immortal.
Aye, and I think a consideration to be had is if they know that there's a lot of people looking for the Immortal and they're gouging you, that maybe whatever lead they've given has already been bought and is being pursued.
I think so too. They would give me the bad
Pretty sure
information,
that
take
was
the
my
money,
point
and then
upstairs.
we get there.
What was that, Fancy?
I said pretty sure that was my point upstairs. The fact that we know that there are several people all looking for the items, which means they are all looking for him.
Aye. I mean, how many people know he has a sister? This is me calling back to the voice of darkness, telling us no one.
That's the beauty.
Well,
That's the beauty of the world. Three can keep a secret if two are dead. And while there is respect among thieves, there's oftentimes not any honor.
and see, your ideal
Which
is
means-
looking better and better by the moment.
Yes. Because if we hit that, then that'll save you the 5K. Unless we absolutely need it as a last resort. And more than likely, we'll have the fresher information and possibly lay our hands on him sooner. If not, keep something from happening to her, which will get us a favor later. So we should probably get over there.
Hey, Morgan, how much of a ladies' man is this Baxter fellow?
He likes to think he is.
Alright, but like, is he good looking?
They're worse.
I'm hoping the
Looking for a
silence ain't
date,
good.
Ryan?
No, ain't like that. If I wanted a man, I'd have a man. But no, I'm just considering why it is that I'm not getting a call back from Albury. And I hope it's not that, because if it's that case, I'm going to be very disturbed.
You probably should be disturbed, Ryan says.
Oh,
Morgan.
alright, let's...
Morgan can sleep with whoever she wants. She doesn't realize how he's that pretty boy. He 5 o'clock shadow at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, are we talking...
Shirt
Oh.
that fits his shoulders very, very attractively. I've watched him fleece old ladies who bring in their family heirlooms with a smile and a wink and just the right hint that he may actually touch them.
You know, Ryan, the more that you're speaking about how much you've been watching this man, the more that I think you might actually want to wear my dresses.
No, I want to break his fucking face because
Oh,
Morgan, up until this point, I thought liked him more than she liked me.
oh, alright, well. I mean, hey, if it makes you feel better, at the very least, I'm pretty sure that one, I don't know who the fuck that one is, so she brought you to the family at the very least.
Did she?
Which is
Or-
a good thing and a bad thing.
You haven't told him about what you are?
I'm pretty sure they all know. Or, wait, are you talking about Baxter?
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
He acts like a fucking vampire. You see what he did to his wife?
I mean, you
Whoa,
don't
whoa,
have
whoa.
to be dead to be a vampire.
There's a difference between being a parasite and being a vampire. And also, please don't call it vampire.
That's what you are, right?
Yeah, but we got... there's a... No,
It's a...
Let's put it this way.
Fancy, where the
Calling us
fuck
a
is this
vampire
system?
would be equivalent of us calling you a blood bag.
yeah,
While
you're
it is
lying.
true, it's kind of disrespectful.
No,
So
it's okay.
we try to be a little more discreet.
I'm gonna use the fancy word for your boy toy now. I hope you know.
Wait a minute. You guys try to be discreet and... What happened outside of the hotel?
Don't worry about that.
Hoping and talking, because otherwise we're
Yeah.
standing here in the middle of this fucking
Right.
thing now.
The impression,
Surrounded by
if I'm ever going on and on and on, is either A, this is one really tall building, or B, we're walking and talking.
You got the
Right.
talking. The strip, well, getting out of the Venetian and onto the strip and getting to your car is easy enough, but it's still a walk. One of the many things about the city, while there are public transportation options, and while there are shuttle buses and livery services and Ubers and Lyfts and cabs and so forth and so on, it's kind of designed to keep you walking as much as possible. It's kind of designed to the only time that you're really going to be vehicularly moving is once you've crossed an eighth, a half, a quarter of a mile to get to your vehicle or get to the nearest cab stand or get to the nearest shuttle bus. The idea is if they keep you walking, you're going to stop and go into that little store. You're going to stop and go into the lobby. You're going to stop and get caught up in all the lights. You're going to stop or, get a business card or a flyer or a happy ending while you're making your way to your decision, to your destination.
Yeah, much like the wonderful, wonderful area in New Orleans, this is designed with a pachinko mindset.
Yep.
You'll eventually enter something if you're just moving.
It's very much designed to separate the fool and their money.
Alright, well, Fancy, where the hell is this sister at? Or should we just all follow you?
I will follow Fancy.
That is not a bad idea. In fact, that's the antithesis of a bad idea. It's also one that is not without its own dilemmas. The reason for that, I'm not sure if Fancy feels like illuminating for you all why going to the sister's address is important and also very, very fraught.
Yeah, Fancy. What fucking landmines might there be about this place, eh? If she lives in the Black Dog, I'm just going to give up and start a new life. I'll become a miller.
That sounds terribly boring.
Yeah, well, terribly boring, more often than not, comes with the consequence of, it being a long-term situation.
Going into the Black Dog would be a very short-term situation.
Wait, exactly, that's why I said if she lives in the Black Dog, I'm just going to go and become a miller somewhere. I'm just going to leave, I'm going to go do something else with my life, what's left of it.
It's
I
not.
can't really do that, actually.
It's not that.
Oh? What's it?
Not bad usually mean horrendous.
No, come on now, what's it?
It means I have to go see my, she gives the quotation marks, dad this evening.
Oh! That's terrible for you, but mildly interesting for me.
You got
Does it
anything
make
for
me know?
dads?
Never mind.
Don't you?
So, a lot of us have daddy issues, so to speak.
Well, actually, I quite like mine.
Yeah,
I
well,
never
fuck
knew
you.
him, but I
Or
quite like
mommy issues, depending.
Fancy, is that gonna be like a solo journey that you're gonna have to do to meet your, or air quote, dad?
Because I mean, like me and Morgan, we can always go and give Baxter some blue balls.
Eugene, you've already met him. It's not like this is news. We're all in the same family.
Well, yes, but
I know that.
Wait, you guys are brother and
But
sister?
if you gotta discuss business,
Or cousin?
absolutely.
Discretion. Code words sometimes.
Not much of a code word if they're in the same family.
Absolutely.
They're not.
We're absolutely all brothers and sisters and cousins. Whatever makes it more spicy for you, big boy.
That explains your daddy issues. So it's not just daddy issues, it's color.
It's
Or
daddy
mommy issues.
So you're trying to make
Mommy issues
Irish
were too.
coffee, and Irish mocha coffee is the thing that gets you off, huh?
Damn right.
Huh.
Wait, I actually don't know what I just agreed to. What are you referring to?
You like a little swirl in your life, bruh. You like a little swirl.
Sure, yeah, that works. So then, fancy if you're alright with us going and meeting your dad. Let's be off. Wait, why does your mortal sister have something to do with your dad? Small world, isn't it?
Morgan, do you think it's a good idea for your friend to come along?
I mean, you gotta bring a party favor, don't you?
I'm
That's a
not gonna
joke,
wrap him
don't
up in
worry.
a bow tie.
I don't wear ties, you know that.
She'll pat him gently on the shoulder. Figure of speech.
Well, since it's old home night, we might as well get this over.
Wait a second.
Great.
Wait, we might actually be we might be killing two birds with one stone here. You're Saracen Prim, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Albany was heading out in that direction, so we might actually be able to do my thing without too much in the way of an issue. That is really fucking Oh god, no. Oh no. This is why I
Did
hate
you
having
have a light bulb moment?
No, I have paranoia. That's what I have. It's not a light bulb, it's so much as a taser.
She will just grin like she's imagining that.
So we'll see how this goes. I'll just say this. If your daddy has a hold of my toy, I'm gonna have to ask for it back. This is just in the chance that it happens.
Fair enough.
Whew. Alright, well then let's get rolling. Do you need to call ahead or something?
I find it's better to get there first. Otherwise, if I call, it gives me a chance to talk myself out of it.
Alright then.
That raspy, deep, almost bass voice. So you didn't listen. I told you to destroy it. And now you're here without announcing yourself. You can hear the venom dripping off every syllable. And worse, you already know he's wearing those god-awful, super large sunglasses, even as dark as Prim fucking is right now.
Oh, he's one of those. I wear my sunglasses at night.
One of these days, Ryan, we're gonna sit down and talk, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how this all came to be for me. And then it'll make a lot of things make sense. But I don't have time for that right now.
My condolences. Didn't mean to trip over anything. And I very much look forward to that conversation. Perhaps we'll exchange. You can tell me about your daddy issues. I can tell you about my mommy issues, as few as they are.
I thought you liked your mom, just like everybody else.
I love my mom.
Eugene gives a smirk. He doesn't say anything, he just smirks.
Wait a second, did you sneak a fucking jab in there, you little piece of shit? I swear to God, I will show you the difference between our social positions.
I haven't said anything, Ryan. Why are you so hostile?
I am not hostile. I am defensive. There is a difference. And I will gouge your fucking eye out in defense of my mum.
I didn't say anything.
Not you,
Not
that
a
little
word.
shit.
Not a word, but several clear images floating in the ether just out there to be grabbed.
Just out there to be grabbed, like me mum.
So more will be like, so a lot of us don't keep in contact with our previous families after the whole transition thing. Some of us are an exception.
An exception.
Only
I
because
thought I
usually
had
it
kept
doesn't
them
go-
fucking jobs, but no, the fuck is everybody else about it?
You have kept it under
I
wraps.
mean, I literally just found out, Ryan.
And I'm talking about Eugene over here and his wonderful network of work or whatever the hell, and how it ties into my mum.
Oh.
Wait, your
How
mom?
the fuck did that happen?
I don't know.
Wait, your mom works with him, and he's related in your Lestat Louis sort of way with, and he points to Fancy. So
Nope.
where does that bring you in? You look like a Mormon. And he points to Neon.
Yes, the very quiet, docile Martha just somehow got implicated in this horrible menagerie. Alright, well, regardless of how all of that plays out, suffice to say, I love me mum and I love me other mum. I'm guessing I'm blessed in comparison to the rest of you shits.
And again, I say, fuck you.
Look, it's okay to be jealous, just don't hate.
You said anything about hating?
Oh, was that an offer then, not an insult? I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that to your puppy.
What are you trying to insinuate? I'm not the one whose mom works with him and is somehow related to everything that's going on there.
I really enjoy the fact that there is a very thin line protecting you right now, and that thin line is a small woman who is very tossable.
You want to go, big boy? Come on. It's about time you learn that all that Lestat movie shit ain't real. You know-
Oh,
Honey,
Now.
no.
Boy. Now.
There's too much testosterone here, Fancy.
you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you little shit? I'm about to fuck you up in so many ways.
What, are you going to talk my ear off?
Oh, I quite literally can, sir. Quite literally can.
Nah, you're fronting. And
I'm
as,
about
soon,
to... Continue.
and as soon as I get the okay, I'm going to fuck your life up.
Oh, this is... Morgan, how much does it cost to repair?
Here's the problem. While all of you all are considering and making your way to the vehicles to get on the road and make that a half an hour to 40 minute drive down to Prim. On the way to Prim, again, it's just a 40-minute drive. But on the way to Prim, because Prim is literally a watchtower city for Las Vegas, there's a midway point, which is known amongst the kindred as Ambush Pass. You have to drive through Jean, Nevada. Jean, Nevada is a place where most of the trucks break down for some god-awful reason, where things fall off of. Jean, Nevada is a place where several loose Confederate individuals meet and barter for goods and services and information. Jean, Nevada is literally, when they say we're going to cut them off at the pass, what happens when you move through Prim from the wrong direction heading into Las Vegas, and they want to make sure it happens to you, just not where it's provably under their control.
Hmm. Well,
So is it humans or werewolves or what?
Everyone looking to make a leg up. So it is a vast conglomeration of individuals working in various shades of legal, extra legal, and completely 100% back and beyond. Scraping for every penny they can get their hands on.
We have found carnivorous strip dwellers.
You don't have to stop in Gene. It's probably a good idea if you didn't stop in Gene. But the chances of you not stopping in Gene go down precipitously as the night goes on.
Mm.
There's a wild-eyed, crazy reverend who purportedly is the most influential person in Gene.
Oh. You never like the sounds of that. How do you spell that? Like literally jeans?
Yeah, Gean.
I'm just getting my my good old Google map going.
Well, hopefully strength in numbers will be good enough in this case.
I'm not. Is there really much in the way of a place to stay out in Gene?
No, there isn't. And during the day, during the heat, losing water or needing to recoup a loss, the sun will get you. The humidity will get you. And just when you think your burdens are lessening and the sun begins to set, the cool will get you. The dark will get you.
Oh. What the hell do we do? Alright, well, I mean, if we've got to stop, we've got to stop. How? What are we thinking? A fucking mass grave or something? I don't think any of us have trunks fucking secure enough to sleep in.
Yeah, I'd like my cozy hidey hole, thank you.
You have a fucking hiding hole in Gene?
Nah, at home.
Alright, well, I suppose
Okay,
that means...
well, how about this? If we can't make the trip tonight due to the fact that we had this all happen, we can chase down Baxter, as it were, and then wait till tomorrow to go see my sire and his little friend.
See,
Oh, Baxter was with his lady friend.
Is that... We don't... I mean, we don't know that. I mean, probably, but we don't know that.
Hey, Fancy, could I bend your ear for a second?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, can't your
It's
little...
for it.
Can't your boy toy just drive us?
Who are you calling boy?
Move closer enough to Fancy so that I can speak in a very low hushed tone so that Ryan, the living, can't hear us.
He's got a
Question
title.
for you. When we were going to see your sire, is that going to be like, is he like the Prince of Prim?
She thinks for a minute, because actually that might actually be the truth. Frowning. Oh, shit. Yes. Yes, he is.
Okay. Because I heard stories about the Prince of Prim that makes me a little uneasy. And not for nothing, but with so many people looking for this immortal guy and so many people heading towards Prim, do you think he'd be really amenable to this whole situation?
Well, the thing is, we have already been dragged into this and threatened and several other things. So he's the type of father that will throw you to the wolves and let you make your own mistakes as long as you don't embarrass him. So if it will save face for him to help, then he would probably help. If it won't, then I'll be shit out of luck. But I don't know until I try. Biggest thing is we're going to be ambushed either way. I think on our way through Jean. It's just that the more vehicles we take and spread out, the easier it'll be for them to ambush instead of the one vehicle. And if we do the one vehicle, then again, we have strength in numbers.
Okay. Just want to make sure that I got all the dice lined up because last thing we needed to find the boxes and then be walked into the sun by your, you know.
That I think would be a little harsh for him, a little above the pale. He still wants to keep me around, especially because of the reason he created me in the first place. So, there's that.
That didn't keep me alive, but okay.
No, it doesn't.
All right. Go on.
Oh no, it wouldn't keep you all alive. In fact, if the aphorism and truism of 3 can keep a secret holds out, the less witnesses, the better. If anything blows back on him, right? So there's a care.
That's kind of what I'm saying. It's easier to get us holding the bag, Fancy out of the equation, and us all dead. That's how I'm reading the situation. Okay, well, and for a penny and for a pound, or whatever the saying is.
So the question comes, how are you all going to get to Prim?
My vehicle is not large enough to hold all of us comfortably, so not it.
the same.
Why does it have to be comfortable? Aren't you guys dead?
Oh, you know, there's like this thing that comes out at certain times of the night, and it goes, scared you, and then you know we go poof, into a nice cloud of dust.
We don't have the time to make it, so we start early tomorrow.
What do you mean you have time to make it? Only 40 minutes. 36. If you know how to fucking drive.
Oh, yeah, I just
Yes. How many hours, storyteller, how many hours do we have before sunrise?
We got a few.
ambiguous. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we can just pile into one vehicle if we don't care about it, but I would at the very least like us to not be sardined up together.
Why would you have to be sardine? You can put somebody in it.
What happened to the van that we stole the other day?
Oh yeah, whatever did happen to that van?
The one we ditched.
Oh, that's what happened to that van.
It's probably at a police impound by now.
Can any one of us acquire a new van?
I mean, yeah, they're not exactly that expensive.
You can always just go steal another one.
Yeah, we can always just go steal it. You know what,
That's
puppy?
what
I
I said.
have a brand new fucking appreciation for you that just started after that sentence. You are now being granted clemency from Powell Ward Shit Yourself.
Let's get a new van and let's get the hell out of here because we really don't have time.
Yeah, no.
Time is money.
The only thing I'm gonna ask is, in the horrible off chance that we do get stuck out there and we can't make it back before the sun rises, can we stop by my place? I got to grab a few things.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see where you live, where your mom lives.
I'm not bringing you there.
Why don't we just get a panel van and then leasing Ryan can drive us back through the day if need be. We just stay in the back.
I'm not your chauffeur.
Well, would you rather us burst into flames?
Some of you.
Morgan specifically?
What's she got to do with it? I said some of you. I didn't say some of us.
Again, we can drive back. If she don't retrieve the items that we need to work together to get, she is to see things that you are not going to want her to see. So if we don't complete this together, she dies.
So who's still in the van?
I was hoping you would.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't steal.
I spaced out for a moment. What? You don't steal things?
Oh. That's a very low class crime. Of course I wouldn't steal anything.
Are you meaning to insult me?
Wait, wait, you think just because those two are related that he steals?
No. It's strange to me that one would be willing to commit like heinous crimes and you know, send people to sleep prematurely, And yet stealing's where they draw the line?
Yeah.
Morgan will shrug her shoulders. I mean, I'm not above some petty larceny.
The thing you're forgetting about that Ryan, she points to the human Ryan,
The real
has
The lesser Ryan.
Sure,
Ryan.
fingerprints. Fingerprints.
Oh, alright.
We don't leave fingerprints.
Wait, you don't leave
It's
fingerprints?
true.
Well, we don't
No.
exactly excrete bodily oils.
So then why did you look so oily?
I thought he was a good thing.
It's part of my routine.
And he doesn't look oily, he looks greasy.
Yeah,
Much
oily,
different.
greasy,
Totally different though.
sleazy.
No. He's onto the right thing. It is baby oil.
Ew. Aren't you Irish? What do you know about baby oils?
I don't fucking know.
You let's put it like this. Look. So cooking oil comes in vegetable and canola and coconut. What do they make that out of?
Oh, don't forget olive.
And olive. What do they make that out of?
As far as I'm aware, don't they like squeeze the things down?
Exactly. So if vegetable oil is made out of vegetables and coconut oil is made out of coconuts.
No. The American education system has failed you, son.
I'm not above squeezing a baby either, but that's
I am.
the different scenario.
In what scenario
steal.
would you squeeze a baby until it pops?
Have you met some of us?
No babies.
Have you met some of us?
I've not met someone
Yeah,
who's
no
so
money
I'd be willing to
and-
fucking squish a baby yet.
I mean, sure, they'd have to be like
money.
really old and have like no morals left. But yeah.
What fucking? You'll hang around some weird people.
That's what
No.
I'm saying. Look at. Needless to say, the bantering back and forth as you all traipse along the strip. Who's doing the thieving of your vehicle?
Well, since
Either Ryan or
one
Fair
of-
Ryan.
Yeah, since one of us is too good to steal.
Nah, one of
suppose-
us can just go to jail for it.
I suppose it can be left to the lesser of us who is willing to, debase themselves for this lowly crime.
Yeah, well, chop chop.
Hate everything about you. Alright, does anybody have like a higher points in larceny?
I don't. That's the reason why
I
I
mean,
don't steal.
possibly.
I'm just asking if there's anyone who'd like to volunteer. I'm not even going to ask you what your dots are, because mechanics can be damned.
Right? I mean, Morgan's already said that she's not
That's
above
my
some petty
rule.
larceny, so
Alright. We can go rob a van.
Borrow a van.
I'm sorry. I know that it may be morally horrible for you, Mr. Baby Squeezer, sir, to forcefully dislodge a van from another person's ownership. I know that might be crossing a line for you. So why don't you go, I don't know, read the newspaper or something while we laymen go and do our work?
Okay.
I mean, fuck it. If he's willing to drop $5,000 on some information, he should just run us a van.
That's what I was
mean,
thinking. But no, the
You hauled
ones-
like what, $20?
Exactly. And no one's gonna break into the back of a fucking U-Haul.
You'd be surprised.
For someone who doesn't steal, you sure know a lot about stealing.
You know a lot of people who do steal, I don't.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you gotta make a living somehow, right?
Exactly.
Fancy rolls her eyes. Let's see. I am going to call my little fuzzy man
Alright.
and his weird ass and see if he can get me a van dropped off.
You know, fucking... That one right over there looks mighty robbable.
All right.
Well, I know he normally can get me anything, so I'm gonna.
We're talking about the living troll doll.
That being the case, go ahead and roll your charisma plus contacts. Get as high as you possibly can. And while that's happening, Ryan and Morgan, would you be so kind to go ahead and roll your wits plus larceny?
Oh, I'm actually good for this.
Lockpicking apply?
That's terrible.
No, you're casing out the joint.
Alright.
What was it? What was the failure for?
Don't worry about that. That was a a hunger. I'm a little bit peckish. Just saying, you know, might not be so good to be around me in the next little bit.
Yeah, that's the reason why you roll the rouse after you add the 2 to your die roll and then roll your rouse.
Well, see, I'm one of those odd individuals who fucks that up literally every single time.
You saw what my first roll was.
I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, so we are at boop. That is cool. Boop, boop. Let's put that there. Boop. There we go. Then after this, my hunger rises to 2. Fancy! Darling! Twinsies!
Holy is the antithesis of everything that you two are in this moment. Fancy reaches out, and the old aphorism of speak of the devil and he shall appear is literally what's happening. Where you got? You're on a strip? I'm not far from you right now. Oh my god. Hey, there's my wolf pack. Hey babe, how you doing? And the moment that he's doing that, making a scene from about 70 feet away from where you all are, waving his phone to get your attention, Ryan and Morgan see the most unbelievably obtainable vehicle. There are dealer plates. The rear and passenger doors are wide open. The driver is moving with a huge dolly of items into the hotel immediately to your right, and you all know that deliveries go around to the back, which means they're going to send him through every loophole possible to get whatever it is that he's delivering where it needs to be. You have, on average, about 5 minutes to contemplate on how best to steal that vehicle without anyone asking any questions whatsoever. And at the exact same time as all of that insanity is happening, Mr. Kirkwood, in his relatively high-pitched voice, is waving and getting your attention as he has the most unbelievably subtle of all vehicles, a party wagon that was created and modified from an SUV that was turned into a stretch limo. And he's waving, oh my god, hey, Kate, hey, I'm over here! And he's talking on the phone at the exact same time as he's trying to text, as he's waving. So decisions, and decisions.
Yeah, so like that right there, that's my... Why is he so loud?
He is indeed loud.
Alright, Fancy, you got a choice between subtle and whatever the fuck that is.
protection should we get stuck. That's the one we should go with.
Nothing like an armored SUV, i.e. a Humvee, with neon lights to keep you nice and UV protected.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I guess we're going for the armored vehicle.
So you all make, for the first time for some of you, and for the last time for a few others of you, you all make the acquaintance of Mr. Kirkwood, a talent manager extraordinaire. He is the underground king of finding talent for various cinematic opportunities. Sometimes the cameras aren't even on. Hey, Brian, Mr. Kirkwood, to one and all, how we doing, guys? And his enthusiasm for meeting you all is unfortunately as infectious as syphilis. It gets in there and crawls past your defenses and just will not go away. His enthusiasm is horrible. It's disarming. The fact that he stays with it, even with some of the dry side eyes that you all give him, he is nonplussed and unfazed. The fact that your skin is cooler than it should be on a Las Vegas night, he is non-phased. He's managed to slip 2 and 3 cards into each of your hands and introducing himself several times. And the fact that you all are showing all the signs of enjoyment as if you were having a root canal, he is 100% unfazed. The sure thing for those of you with a high presence and a high charisma, you know for a fact that if you stay in his presence for longer than 4 minutes, he will probably have your social security number, have you lined up for certain talent agencies and for certain auditions.
My god, I think in a different chronicle, one of my characters may or may not have bit this guy's slazier cousin.
Great.
Fancy will.
Babe, you know I
go.
love you.
And while she looks at the others with the get in, like head tilt, she'll distract Ryan, kind of go up to him and grab him by the beard, kind of playfully. Thank you, doll. Oh, amazing. You are like the absolute fucking...
I'm a lifesaver. I give and I give and I give. I'm a giver and a grower, but you already know that, don't you, babe? So, hey, you, mustache guy, look, I have this thing. I don't know if you're interested. I don't know if you've thought about it, but you have the look. You definitely can. I have this thing. You probably are the perfect fit for it, but I can't say for sure. Here, take my card. Let me get you over there. The audition is from 3 until 9 p.m. tomorrow. More than enough time. And you fit the bill. Look at how you're dressed. Oh my God, you are a rock star. Fancy, you didn't tell me you hung out with so many attractive, handsome, beautiful individuals. And you, hey, don't I know you? Didn't you do a thing for, what was that, MGM a couple of years ago?
As Ryan just kind of shuffles away towards the vehicle, and Fancy's trying her best to ride the tiger. He's just like, oh yeah, mustache guy, that's great. Oh, no, wonderful. Unfortunately, I'm occupied. And just as he turns his head towards whoever's the MGM person.
Morgan will usher her Ryan along.
Babe, oh my God, you hang out with so many wonderful people. What about And he's just going on and directing Fancy towards some of her cronies who are trying to slip away. Oh my god, make sure you drink some of the water. The water, unlike anywhere else, is actually almost completely free. It won't charge you all that much. And here's the thing, you don't have to keep the neons on. You can turn them into oscillating. They'll be like strobe lights. People think you guys are cops and to pull out of your way. You have nothing but a straight flight wherever it is that you guys are going. Where are you going, by the way? Are you going to head over to the party that's going to be happening out?
I don't know if your mic just accidentally cut off or if you stopped speaking, but that is the exact moment that I imagined the window finally stopped rolling up on the driver's side.
He is a ball of boundless, nonstop, straightforward, being everything but straightforward. He's picking up little details. Oh my god, love that shirt. Look at those shoes. And he is just a ball of barely contained energy. And this is with Fancy having 90% of his attention. This is with Fancy interacting and interjecting and pausing and interrupting 90% of his attention.
Just in the vehicle now. Just I don't know how she deals with it.
Yeah, probably a lot like my mom did.
Look at him go. Gestures
Yeah,
out
they
the
do
window.
that.
He just
They,
doesn't stop.
Okay, doll. I have to get going. If I'm gonna get to where I'm going, so I have to get going. Thank you so much. And she like air kisses his cheek. I have to go see a man about a thing. But I will see you tomorrow at that gala on the other side of the strip.
No, Wet and Wild, that thing is going to be happening almost all day tomorrow. It's right past the Durango, out past the Walmart over that way. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to do this huge thing. There's going to be a full spread. They've already brought in all of the seafood. I saw some of what they were bringing in. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Plus, all the models get a chance to eat for free. And plus, we got some of the girls who actually put on some of the shows. We have the girls from over at Village Pub, and we have all of the guy girls from up there in Spring Valley. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. You're going to want to make sure you want to get there early enough that we can... And he just goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Okay, but make sure you call the other girls, okay? Because I don't have a way to contact them right now, but you would have their number. All right, I have to go. And then she's, like, sticking her feet in the vehicle, trying to, like, ease her way away as she's redirecting.
Just the entire time as she's slowly moving around the side of the vehicle, Ryan's just watching, just kind of... Morgan, this is one of those moments that makes me wish I could eat popcorn.
nah. And she'll look at her, Ryan. I'm glad your agent isn't like that.
I'd probably shoot
Cocaine
myself.
is a hell of a drug.
It was.
No, that's more than coke. I don't know what that is. That's coke on steroids. That's meth, older, meaner brother. I don't know what that is.
That is pure, unadulterated desperation right there.
He reminds me of some of the guys that my mom hung out with back when I was younger. And breathing.
Yeah, I can't say the same. I think I've beaten up a few guys like him.
Sure, I killed a few people.
Fancy is finally in the vehicle. And
Drive,
she's like,
drive.
Let's go.
You sure you just don't want to... He's fucking around with the master control for the window as he rolls it down. You just don't need a little bit of a wet... And he turns on the car and starts going, okay, I mean, if you're sure.
The 40-minute drive towards Prim, sitting before you all as you all escape the strip and escape Mr. Kirkwood, it is daunting in consideration. It's just far enough where you're comfortably outside of your idea of security and safety, especially knowing you have to cross through G. And figuring out the controls for the vehicle's lights and sound is an adventure all of its own. What on the initial push causes the lights to go into full strobe effect, you all only realize after several miles of driving that it also causes the back emergency tire that's there for just show to spin and emit a cloud of bubbles. And pushing it again stops the bubbles, but the tire spins, and now it's spinning in time to the oscillating lights. You hit another switch which stops the lights from oscillating on the vehicle, and they start oscillating beneath the vehicle, lighting up the roadway beneath you all. And you're not going to talk about the fact that it has actual police lights that flash and project and start singing Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday to Ya.
Oh my god, no.
You know,
Oh, this was a
this
fucking
vehicle
disaster.
This vehicle reminds me of Mr. Kirkwood, like, a lot.
I don't
I
like
think
that.
You all are just past
Yeah.
You all are just past Erie and heading out into Ivanpah Valley down 15. You can see the sign for the Detour Vegas ATV tours. You can see the sign for Seven Magic Mountains. And you know that you're about 20 minutes outside of Jean. You guys are making great time. And therein lies the initial dilemma of concern. You guys are moving at a good clip. You're merging through and around traffic. Jean is coming up faster than it should. And with that consideration, it is 49 after the hour. Let's come back here exactly at the turning of the hour, and we'll pick up from there.
Sounds plan.
All right, who's back?
It is I.
Why, hello, I thought your name was Ryan.
Yeah, I thought I want to be called in the given moment.
Fair enough. Who you identify as is no one's business but your own.
True story.
And from the descriptions thus far, Ryan is the one that is driving, correct?
Unfortunately, because no one else was responsible enough to tell him not to. My character, much like me, has only sheer stupid luck to keep him from running off the side of the road.
Welcome back.
What I was going to ask is, has Fancy been in this vehicle before? Because if she's been in this vehicle before, maybe she knows how to shut off some of the stuff.
As a passenger. As a passenger, she normally has someone else driving. As a passenger, she's usually not surrounded by those with sensitive dispositions, i.e. able to see beyond sight and the effects of all of the many knobs, dials, push buttons, touch screens are nearly as overwhelming when other people are actually enjoying the displays. In the present moment, you all are attempting to focus on the road, the cars around you, and so you're not the only one that's bothered by the strobing lights. You're not the only one that's bothered by the sounds and the ostentatious nature of the vehicle. So, if Fancy is attempting to figure out which knobs, which buttons, which push screens, which touch screens are the best ones to not touch or touch in several ways, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your intelligence plus drive for me, please? Or is she going to leave it solely in Joji's hands, as he's the one behind the wheel?
Shit.
Ryan in this game.
Bro, no. Joji learned instant transportation, okay? Transmission, not transportation. It's a form of transportation. Instant transmission just...
Yeah, I called him Joji. Sorry.
Here, let me help you out here. Boop.
Well, what I was gonna say is, if he's the one driving, could she offer him like the help action in a way and give him an extra dot as to how to roll that and get it turned on?
Yes, Ryan, would you be so kind to go ahead and roll your intelligence plus drive?
Sure, that's...
Eugene,
Plus
are you
one.
back yet? Eugene is not back.
I've been back. What are you talking about?
Excellent. Would you be so kind as the only paranoid, borderline personality disordered kindred present? Would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your wits plus awareness for me, please?
There you go.
Ooh.
My wonderful wits plus drive roll.
+1. No, intelligence plus drive, +1.
Oh, sorry, intelligence plus drive. +1 here. I'll add that one on there.
Ooh.
Where did my die go? What? Ah, there it is. Okay.
All right. Well, several things happen at once, as they typically do in situations such as this. Rolling in your single vehicle convoy down 15, heading towards Prim, making great time. The last thing that you all need is the presence of the police to pick up on your tail and pull you to the side of the road and start questioning and, in other words, making you stop in Gene. It is the absolute last thing that you all need. And as such, it's exactly what doesn't happen as you all are nearing the exit for Gene. The turnoff there at 15 that'll pull you off the right, off 15 and into the actual domain of Gene. You begin thanking your stars and garters and what have you. Unfortunately for you all, Mr. Calloway is considerably more criminally minded in terms of business management than some of you all are, and his paranoid fixation on the road behind you, despite all of the flashing, oscillating lights and music and sound, is not distracting him from watching the cars that you all are passing. It's not distracting him from watching what's in your wake. And as you all near and just past the turnoff for Gene, he sees it. The dark van easing onto the road, no lights. The chase car moving up alongside of it, also no lights. Looking ahead of you all, he sees why they're so confident in their come on, as it were. There are two police cars on the side of the road harassing and haranguing a OTR who's been pulled over, and they're going through every facet of his trailer, meaning they're going to be there for a while. They're not going to be giving chase to anyone or anything, which leaves the van and the chase car to do exactly what it wants to do once you all pass those police vehicles and get far enough ahead where they will not intercede nor interact. Question is, seeing the timing of this, is there anything that Mr. Calloway is attempting to tell Joji or the rest of the travelers, the rest of his coterie?
Oh, we got company. Large van slid behind us.
Oh, we told we've got clemency.
Had no lights on this van. We got company.
Oh shit. What we doing? What we doing? We fucking with him? We just gonna let him roll by?
Keep on doing what we're doing.
While we review those cops, see if they slow down and give them right away to see if they pass. If they don't pass us, then, well, we know what it is.
If their lights are on, but they're not.
The lights are off.
Yeah, which means we don't have to pull it. Right?
No, what he's saying is the cop cars have pulled over somebody, and the cars that are chasing us don't have lights at all, is what I'm getting. So the ones that are chasing us are the problem. What Eugene wants you to do is slow down near the cop cars to see if they'll pass, so that they don't catch the attention of the cops.
You're wanting me to play the looky-loo game. Alright, we'll do it.
Excellent. Now, George, Ryan is a decent driver, right? He's staying within the safe speed limit.
Yeah, totally.
Excellent. Would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your resolve plus drive? Because you realize that you are well beyond the comfortable speed limit of not drawing attention. So slowing down quickly within that small span of space is in fact a fairly difficult thing to do. It's not something that's going to happen without skill and aim. And especially as the soundtrack of the button that you hit and switch things over to the internal sound being broadcast out into the world is let the bodies hit the floor.
Okay. Just for you all, because I don't want this to turn out too terribly. ST, may I rouse, or is this a reactionary?
You may rouse. So go ahead, roll with your +2, and then roll your rouse afterwards.
Alright. Boop. How about we just not do that? Yeah. Oh, God! Alright, well, that's a bestial failure. You will enjoy this traffic accident.
It's not a traffic accident. It is literally the hand of fate has reached down and jerked your wheel at the worst possible moment. You are beginning to slow, and instead of gently easing onto the brake, the fact that you are so close to the police officers who are going through this trailer, and one of them looks dead at you, you feel his eye staring into your soul, and you respond in a very herky, jerky motion. You're a beast screaming, "Kill it, it's going to get us."
Oh.
So as let the bodies sounds out, the entire right side of the armored party wagon that is the Humvee you are in scrapes alongside of the police SUV, causing the officers who are going through the trailer with the driver standing there shaking his head like, "Why the fuck are you fucking with me?" They all manage to leap, duck, dip, and dodge as the vehicles become one with one another and the back of the trailer. The van chasing you, staying in your six, keeping an eye on you, eases into a slower stop, staying far enough back to not ram directly into you. However, the chase car is another matter entirely. The chase car was accelerating to get even with you all, to properly size you up so that they could do what they were going to do and just part with a little of your hard-earned lives. It'll be perfectly fine. It'll be perfectly fine. What's the worst thing that could have happened? And through some strange vicissitude of fate's unkind graces, it pulls into a 180 in front of you all as you scrape alongside of the police vehicles, the tractor trailer, and leave shreds and sheets of metal on the highway behind you all. It is without a shadow of a doubt that those officers and that driver will most assuredly be calling for help. It is very, very obvious that as you all fight for control, well, Ryan, as you fight for control to keep the vehicle on the road, that you are playing right into their hands unintentionally. Your beast picked the wrong moment to decide that it needed blood. It needed to satiate itself.
As just, they're going to impact, he's just, let's not pull these things up! It slams into it. He doesn't, fucking impulse control is gone. It is gone. The beast is a powerful drug, everybody. And the other vehicle swings around. He just like, oh fuck, as he comes out of his revelry. That is not what I meant to do. I mean,
unfortunately for you all, the vehicle is in fact armored. Unfortunately for you all, it is a party vehicle. Seatbelts are optional. Would each of you all be so kind as to attempt to save yourself from being slammed around as if you all are pinballs? I.e., your dexterity or strength and athletics as you try to hold yourself still from being slammed left and right, up and down inside the back of the vehicle.
Yay.
Morgan, you'll be rolling for both you and Ryan, so just add a +1.
Oh, why? Why, God? Okay. Why? What have I done?
Ryan will be taking the hard way, that's for sure.
Yay. I get the highway and the hard way. What did it do?
So just a reminder, I do have cat's grace, so auto success on non-combat related dex athletics checks.
Yes.
Nobody.
But go ahead,
Would
roll.
this-
You still have Ryan, by the way.
I do.
Would this be an applicable moment for weight of the feather?
Yes.
Well, when you go out the windshield,
Yes, that would be absolutely perfect.
I would like to use weight of a feather. I don't want to experience what it's like to have a steering wheel go through your sternum.
you'll know pretty soon.
Hey, I'm just saying, but I'll get closer to the destination than you all will.
Yeah, about 60, 70 miles an hour.
Whee!
Maybe 60, 70. You're short by about 10. But all the same, those of you who did not meet the minimum success threshold of 3, please denote 1 superficial damage for each place short, for each step short, each success outcome short of the 3. Crashing in a vehicle that refuses to die is not a comfortable thing. The SUV, the Humvee that you are in, is actually armored. It's not a tank. It is an armored personnel carrier. Not completely designed initially for what it has been repurposed into, as some of the outside speakers are left behind you all in that crash, in that wreck. Fancy, your phone is immediately blowing up as you see text after text of Mr. Kirkwood. Oh my god, it's registering a collision. Are you guys okay? I'm on my way. I'll be there in a second. I know where you guys are. And several other texts. Right? He's literally texting faster than you've seen any other person text before. Somehow he has found a way to instantaneously transmit his worry and his hyperactivity into your phone. So as the world is rocking and moving and twisting and bouncing, you have the annoying pings from your phone going off back to back. Ting 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 ting. As outside, the sound of the song is still playing, because while all the speakers on that side of the vehicle have been scraped and broken away, those on the left side are still, on the driver's side, are still operational. They're still broadcasting. The lights are still flashing on that side of the vehicle and underneath it. And the chase car, which has 180'd in front of you so that you can see into the tinted front windshield of the vehicle, is attempting to slow down just enough so that the bumpers rest one against the other. It is very clear what they are attempting to force you all to slow down, to impede your path enough to, well, whatever it is they're attempting to attempt.
I just want you all to know that I am not very good at dodging pit maneuvers and the like.
I said slow down. I don't know what the hell this is.
I don't know either. Everything was fine, and then, the song got to me, alright? It just resonated. Do we stop? Do we keep going? Do I pull off?
Storyteller, how far are we from the police?
200 feet and growing by the second. You're past the merge onto 15 from Gene. So on your left side, there's the Ferocity skydiving. You see the actual court that most people end up going to, the Good Springs Justice. On your right side, you see a bunch of desert. You see a bunch of hills and mountains out there. You know that you can't, but you can swear that you see Little Devil Peak and Devil Peak out there to your right side of the vehicle. The glass didn't shatter, didn't break. It is clearly and truly an armored vehicle. The only problem is, well, it's still a long road of hell to get to Prim. You gotta pass the small little nothing creek and river. You gotta pass by where Las Vegas Boulevard runs parallel to the freeway. You gotta pass through all of that desert with Borax out there to your south, i.e. to the right, to the left of the vehicle. There's several tours out there in the desert that attract all of the tourists and good places to bury folks before you get to Prim. You got about 15 minutes. 10 at this present rate of speed if you don't stop. 9 if you step on it. 6 if you really push the gas pedal all the way to the floor.
I kind of feel like we need to keep going.
I feel we should. Fancy, go on. I'm sorry.
Fancy feeling a little jostled. Just trying to get hold of her phone again.
Ting ting
Fuck
ting
it.
ting ting
Floor
ting
it.
ting 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 ting. You've heard your orders, sir.
And that's the thing. Fancy's usually really well mannered and only curses when she's truly pissed off. So to hear her say fuck it, floor it, should very much show you just how pissed off she is. And she's trying to answer Brian at the same time, like, no, we're...
Okay. So, the marching orders are go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so as what the buddies hit the floor ends, gas pedal, feet I am Sue comes on and just as they just start screaming down the highway.
All right, contested drive roll. Would you be so kind to go ahead and rule your resolve plus drive versus their composure and drive? You need to beat them by 3, and they need to beat you by 3, because they're attempting to pit you all and slow you down enough for the van to actually come into play.
I am 100%. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep rolling the fucking rouse before I roll the... I'm sorry. I don't mean to be this dumb. I just am. There. As Joji, or sorry, not, I'm doing it now. Thanks. As Ryan, who just barely managed to get his license, like really should not be allowed on the road, but due to technicalities, he is. Just puts his all into it.
Outcome of 1. You need 2 more successes, sir.
Okay.
There's no way that they should be able to stunt drive as well as they are, because they are 100% driving in reverse, attempting to slow you down and pit you so that the van can come into play. You're managing to keep them from slowing down the Humvee, but you guys are bumper to bumper.
Okay. Second set.
Oh, nobody. How far are we away from the cop chat?
Coming up on 300 feet now and growing by the second.
We've already blown past them. There's no way to go back to them. I
don't want to. I want to get away from them.
Alright, there's my second set.
Do you outbeat them by 2? You do. You do.
Fancy yells to the back. There's gotta be a bottle of something back there. Toss it out the window, pop some tires.
They're looking for alcohol, grain alcohol, any type of alcohol.
A metric shit ton of champagne.
Champagne isn't. Damn it. Any port wine? Anything with a higher alcohol content?
A literal metric shit ton of champagne. It's a party wagon. They want people buzzed, not passing out in the vehicle or puking in the vehicle.
Okay. So much like banana peels in Mario Kart, Ryan is going to reach back, say, "Give me a bottle!" and then just fling it out the fucking window.
And while he's yelling and driving, he's one-handing the steering wheel as you all are reaching 85 miles an hour. What is everybody else doing?
Okay. I can rouse the blood. I'm gonna rouse the blood.
So you really want to get
Fancy
excited?
is talking Brian down to keep him out of the way.
Absolutely. The music is pumping, the adrenaline is spiking, Eugene's aroused.
Fancy, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your charisma technology? Are you able to evidence in text enough? It's fine. The sensors are off clearly. Like, you know me. Counteracting the hyper active texts that are coming through with the presentation of everything's perfectly okay. Everything is awesome. You don't have to worry. We're good.
Meanwhile, at the same time, I've never felt more alive!
Alright. In the party limo thing, is there a moonroof?
Yes.
Alright. Going to pop that sucker open and just start flinging champagne bottles.
I try to pitch the bottle through the windshield. Not our windshield, their windshield.
Fucking every windshield.
Here's the thing that would have happened. Luckily, we don't have to deal with it, but as you get excited and just toss it out the back window, it comes to you very quickly that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. The back window, just like all of the other windows on the vehicle, is in fact armored as the champagne bottle ricochets back towards you. Luckily, we don't have to deal with that as you're letting the window down to get the bottle out the window, much like Ryan.
Yes. Yes, I wasn't throwing it through our window. I was trying to throw it out, rolling the window down to go throw it out. I didn't want to hit our window.
I'm about to say you're the first man to boomerang a champagne bottle.
It is, without a shadow of a doubt, an absolute madhouse, because while the vehicle you are in is in fact armored, the chase vehicle and the van are not. So you all are literally mortar firing champagne bottles out of each of the open windows as Fancy is rocking and rolling as the vehicle bumps and cascades against the others, trying to pin it in, while Ryan is one-arming the steering wheel and she's texting and literally fighting a war of diplomacy with the vehicle's owner, somehow maintaining a calm presence of mind and not being excited nor aroused by all of the chaos happening around her. So as literal war and mortar-fired champagne bottles are flying out of the vehicle, she's calmly composing as if she's writing a very long letter to a lover from the 1700s.
Literally just the violin in the background. What's that?
They have incredible resolve.
Yes, dear Kirkwood, it is my greatest joy to hear your voice. I can imagine you here with me now. And as you all see the signs for Roach, the accumulation of champagne bottles and broken glass up and down the road from Gene to here, the van having lost one tire and still trying to keep pace, the chase car being pelted and rammed by the sheer unadulterated diesel might of the Humvee, is sent careening off the guardrails off into the desert just as you all are passing the sign for Roach, Nevada, which means you are exactly 2 minutes outside of Prim, leaving a several miles long gauntlet of broken champagne bottles, burst tire rubber, shattered windshields, and no small amount of unsightly carnage that the highway patrol will be questioning how the fuck did that happen. You see,
Clearly someone was having a good time.
Goddamn tourists!
passing Roach, you see Buffalo Bill's casino sign there off the left of the expressway. The turnoff is to your right, leading you up and past Whiskey Pete's. As you enter into the relative safe confines of Prim, there are several things that shouldn't have happened. There should have been impossible to take place. that have. And the sign, they're just past the notice, the road sign for Buffalo Bills. Welcome to Prim.
Is this unmarked vehicle still behind us?
The van
Or is it?
was careened off the road, and the chase car that is somewhere miles behind you in the desert. No, they're behind
No.
you.
See, I swapped their roles. See, I thought it was the police car that got ran off. Whew. Whew, sorry about that. All right, so just as they pull past the sign, just all right. Why are we dumping this thing? Because it is not going anywhere. Drive off into the desert.
Car?
No, we can't. One, we need it to get back, and two, it's far too expensive to just scrap. We'd have to take it to a mechanic or something. I'll pay for it to
Take the
get
other
fixed.
car?
I mean, where exactly are we going to hide this thing?
I take it Messiah probably lives like on an estate or a large bit of land.
It is quite a lot of land that his haven resides on. It is a huge tract of land right there on Prim Boulevard, right off the expressway. In Vegas, each casino, each resort is its own fiefdom, and there's no more high value location to show how powerful he is as the prince of a watchtower city than operating Buffalo Bills Resort and Casino. Buffalo Bills is unlike most other casinos in Las Vegas, because Buffalo Bills is only half of what Buffalo Bills actually is. Buffalo Bills is home to Whiskey Pete's, the Desperado roller coaster, the Star of the Desert Arena, where off Broadway, off Las Vegas reviews take place. It is also the center of the Prim race course, where most FIFA and international racing stock cars and what have you qualify. Most of their money is made, just like with Las Vegas itself, tourism. Save their tourism is typically the Budweiser crowd. It's typically, we're here for racing.
Y'all heard about NASCAR?
It is a kingdom where someone getting gruesomely and grievously injured would not be outside of the pale. It is the perfect place to banish someone who's overstepped, because it gives them a sense of authority and control, and it keeps them close enough to be watched and far enough to never be a threat.
Oh man.
When we get close, just close enough, and she's assuming me calmed Brian down enough to keep the text from not pouring in, she will indeed reach out to her sire so that they don't surprise pop up. But it's more like a, hey, we're in town, so see you in a little bit.
Oh.
Do you call him or text the emergency line where he has his adjutants and secretaries and what have you? monitoring information for him from?
Which one would get less of my head bitten off at this point?
The text line.
That's what we gonna do. We gonna text.
Okay.
Text says, "Hi. So we had a bit of an emergency. Had to head your way. We are just about there. Thought I'd give a heads up. See you soon. Thank you."
So as Fancy's finishing composing her text and reaching out to her sire, is anyone else doing anything else as you all find a place to alight the vehicle and survey the damage that you've all done to it and the world around it?
Gonna try and get a hold of Aubrey again. But since I'm pretty sure that's not gonna go through, I'll just. Alright, Fancy, what am I pulling this thing into? And I apologize for making that a bit more intense than it needed to be.
It?
Well, the safest place to park it out of sight would be around the left corner of the casino building, closer to staff parking.
Alright then. I'll follow her directions as I go about my way. So, I don't know much about your sire. Is he a friendly gentleman? I'll take that as a no.
She looks back at Eugene. Hair triggered.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
So he's not going to take too kindly to the police chatter of a Mad Max episode being filmed on his highway.
No, he won't.
Alright, well then, this wasn't us. I've never seen this vehicle before in all of my days. Or nights. It's just some strangers that we happened to find on the road at some point after it was done with its maniacal drive. Yeah? Alright, I'm glad that we all agree to that plan.
Eugene just sighs and pinches his nose.
I'm going to guess that perhaps keeping as many details about this as possible, as unspoken of as possible, is the way to go with your Sarah then.
That's a lot better of an idea.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to see if I can make friends with him.
Good luck with that.
It's a great idea. Everyone could use a few more friends in their life. The problem with having survived, the problem with the trip into Prim, as you all merge off the expressway and begin making your way towards the back of Buffalo Bills, which requires you merging first west, then heading east across Prim Boulevard until you find the small little turnoff that'll lead you up north past the racetrack entry gate down past several quarter miles of parking, finding yourself on the back of Buffalo Bills, on the farthest eastern portion of the territory, in which the largest building in the entirety of Prim sits. You making your way east across Prim Boulevard, watching all of the people still milling about, you realize that there is a relatively decent sized concert in town, because there's no race that you can hear. There's no night race going on, no roar of a fleet of vehicles powered by rocket fuel. No, instead you see all of the staggering, near inebriated, or just fucking high out of their minds, tripping balls individuals making their way across Prim Boulevard, which from a distance looks exactly like you would imagine an alley if you knocked down all the buildings around it anywhere else in the world, in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, New Orleans. Wide streets where it's unsafe to be on foot this close, where there's no sidewalk, where there's just sand. Yet there they are, making their way from the hundreds of motorhomes there just south of the Market Desert Oasis, across the street from the next tallest building, which is the Prim Valley Casino, also owned by the same company that owns Buffalo Bills. There's a certain paranoia that creeps in as the music of the world around you begins taking on the sound of a jungle when the predators are about, which is normally not a problem for you all individually. You all know what you are. You know that you all are monsters right out of someone's deepest, darkest imagination. The problem with that world sound shifting as it does, your vehicle is still projecting the soundtrack from inside, and as Frank Sinatra leans into "and now the end is," you realize you are not the only predator, nor the apex predator in Prim. As for a brief flickering moment, just as you all are finally found the little out of the way path, the little out of the way turn off there before you head into the deeper, darker desert area of Prim, which is still inside the city limits, to make it to the back of Buffalo Bills, you could swear you saw the hideous, most disgusting face you've possibly seen in at least a few weeks. You didn't know Nosferatu came this far south. There's no sewer systems. There's no easy to get to caves. Yet there he, she, it, whatever it was, walking directly in front of your vehicle across the street as you all make the left going north along the backside of Buffalo Bills.
What the fuck?
You know it's going to be a great day when one of them come out to play without even disguising themselves.
That's what I was
Fuck.
a bit shocked about. I mean, like, firstly, ugh. Secondly, like, what the fuck?
Yes, distant cousins are out, I guess. That's always a good sign.
It's an absolutely great sign, because how could they be that skilled to reveal themselves to a set group of individuals and no one else run screaming, or worse?
Eugene looks at Ryan to see how he's taking it.
He's seen burn victims before. He's been there when people have set themselves on fire, sometimes for pay, most times for not. So he's surprisingly okay with the level of hideousness, because he doesn't register hideous, clearly deformed from some tragedy, as being one of you all. That's where someone bothers to tell him.
Not even any context clues from our conversations.
Yep, there's
Just
hearing
kind of-
something and there's believing it. Like, nah, I can't be as bad as they say. Clearly, having seen people be set on fire before, he is a stuntman. He's accustomed to
Right.
Hollywood magic, as it were. Question is, do you actually come right out and confront him with the realities of what you all just witnessed?
She'll nudge him a little bit. Now, don't want you getting alarmed, but that's not normal.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Because I saw 2 of those damaged people. I thought it was a freak show in town.
That's one way
Freak
of
show
putting it,
is
but,
one way of
you know.
putting it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I saw another one of them as well in your family album.
Leave,
But
leave your mother out of this, asshole.
god damn it.
Hey, wait. His mother is not one of those people. She's a very lovely woman. He says with a small smirk on his face.
I'm sorry, I'm still wrapped up in the idea that one of those greasy, grimy, sewer-dwelling fucks might actually try and get their hands on my mum, and that's not an idea that I quite like.
We have places to go and a time limit to do it.
Yeah,
We do. But before we get out the car, there is one thing that I kind of thought that I should just kind of throw it out there.
Yeah, we already know
Oh.
you're gay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty self-explanatory.
No one's gonna be that macho and actually be macho,
Like, I'm honestly surprised you're not wearing like a leather jacket.
I was going to say, have you all noticed how all roads seem to be leading to Prim?
It's not Rome.
Everything that we've done since dealing with the our benefactor, and I use the term loosely, everything has been kind of drawing us to Prim. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
It's one
I
of those
mean-
things-
Go ahead.
No, you first, please. I've talked my fucking head off this entire way.
I mean, I was more than happy just to wait back at my shop for Baxter to come home. So, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. All roads lead to Prim. We had other options.
Okay, I just thought I'd throw it out there. He opens the door and gets out.
Did you know, hilariously, the IHOP down here is known for its burritos?
Yeah, that's the only reason I come.
Well, I guess.
No, sorry, it's just a small fact, like a little factoid. If you... just ignore me. I'm just gonna climb out of the banged up vehicle now, thank you. So, Fancy, where exactly is your dad? Oh no.
Do I get a choice as to which, or is
Yep.
all of those?
Yep. Dealer's choice.
Oh no.
Your thoughts are accurate, Fancy. You are pretty sure that you hit on the right idea.
Which idea?
With her living over there in the RV homes, which are a little different than trailer homes, but they're exactly the same. Right under the eye of Sauron, as it were.
Fancy face palms. Fuck.
Oh, what's wrong?
Why did I see this shit? Oh, that's why he wanted me to destroy the fucking book.
Oh,
Because look at the fact that we needed somebody that has money. She motions to the fucking casino. We need somebody that knew the immortal. And remember how we were thinking about the fact that he's seeming to be poached or being prepared to be brought into our lives?
yeah.
That motherfucker.
You think your sire has something to do with this?
He's
I mean,
the immortal. Remember how they were saying that nobody seems to be able to catch him, or he's seeming to be protected and groomed, and he knew where to hit and he knew where to drop things off? That's far from fucking knowledge for a human, no matter how smart the human is.
no, I agree with you. Alright, well, fuck, what are we going to do about it?
As I said, all roads lead to Prim, but no one seemed to care.
No,
I still don't.
It's even worse.
It's one of those, like, I don't know what to do about it type things. Like, if your sire has all of the shit, what the fuck can we do about it? We just signed a 2 days or we die scenario.
It's not just that he has it. The thing is, we're coming up on the Grand Carusia. That's important for the venture.
Sure.
I don't know what
who
the
do
fuck
what
that
now?
is. Yeah.
It's like a
Think
big
about-
fucking pissing contest meeting that we all have to go to. And kiss ass unless you're of a high enough esteem to not have to kiss ass and be a whipping boy. But at the same time, the esteem he could build for having a way to solve this whole problem and solve all the chaos, like, it would give him the biggest fucking boost. The reason he lives all the way out here is because he fucked up in the past. And the prince put him out here to keep an eye on him, but also get him out of town when he fucked up in the past.
See,
I was part of that fuck up. The
Congratulations.
reason I know Max is because of that fuck up.
alright, so we're thinking he's going to try and use this situation and get back in the good graces then.
Probably, which is why he didn't want me anywhere near it, or wanted me to immediately destroy the evidence that I had, so that I was left powerless when he did this.
Okay, do you care for her, or is it alright if we just,
I don't think we can. That's the problem.
I mean, give us like 100 years.
He's a war chief. I don't think we can.
what the fuck is a war chief?
That sounds pretty
okay.
self-explanatory to me.
Well, yeah, but like, they've got this whole thing going on with their weird words, and I want to know if it's actually what I'm thinking, or if it's just like some weird, like, cultural appropriation thing.
No, you know that when like wild things happen and they run to someone to go and deal with it, he's one of those guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
I mean, really wild things like lupines.
Oh. Wait, what?
I hear they taste amazing.
When the mob was still running Vegas openly, you had this family and the other family, and there was an open bit of aggression towards each other. Feet were stepped on, people were killed when they shouldn't have been killed. And he was one of those ones that, even if he fucked up royally, got a slap on the wrist rather than killed himself. Because he already had that much clout back then. So imagine how much he has now.
I'm stuck on the lupines. I get what it's supposed to mean, like lupines, dogs, wolves, coyotes. But what is it? Is that what you call the ugly motherfuckers that's been following us this whole time?
Wait, they're following
No.
us?
Oh.
No, no. They're
He looks back behind him.
Clear, active, fuck around and find out moment. Because yeah, as you all exited the vehicle and are moving towards the low rent district of Prim, which is pretty much saying the entirety of Prim, just the south side of Prim Boulevard, where the immortal sister resides, you've all been followed, and followed blatantly. Just far enough back not to be part of your conversation, but close enough to let you know that they are there.
Hmm. Fancy, does your sire happen to keep speed bumps around? Or are these not his?
That man doesn't like to not know anything, so yeah, they more than likely belong to him.
Alright, well, hopefully you being with us keeps us from getting jumped. Because I don't want that thing any closer to me.
Morgan is just going to raise her hand and wave at them.
There's an ebb and flow to things that is almost musical. And by almost, it actually is musical. If you listen to the passers-by and how conversations blend and meld and are carried on the wind, most people forget that Prim, just like Vegas, is actually in the desert. Say Prim is even wilder on the surface than the entirety of Vegas. The desert invades and attacks the city whenever it chooses, which is in fact quite often. So voices carry and have illusory components to them, causing what's near to be far and what's far to be near, and for you to hear someone pissing on the side of a mountain even though you're in the center of Prim itself. It's an interesting tapestry of sound and sights and lights and people. And attempting to control that ebb and flow of information is an act of insanity. So without further ado, welcome to Prim. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time as to what you all manage to get out of this. How do you manage to get out of this? How do you escape? Or how do you confront the many truths that you found on your way to Prim? Good night, everybody.
Good night. I swear to God, if these Nosferatu walk up and call me a smooth skin,